obviously massive success story in the NFL this year, and we were just talking about it. This Bo Nix guy. Okay, we just talked about the Broncos, and we're talking about in the hunt. And the Indianapolis Colts look out if the Houston Texans continue. We're in the hunt. You see that?
Look out for what?
Well, Houston Texans, hey, with the way things are going, you just lost your captain, 3 games. There's Nick Sirianni's calling press conferences. There's a lot going on down there. And all the Colts have done.
What's the Colts scenario? It's they got to beat the Broncos and win out, essentially, right?
Yeah, we're racing against the Broncos for that wild card. But then if we catch you guys have the tiebreaker because you beat us twice.
2 games.
Oh, golly. Yeah, we got a 2-game lead because we beat you on the tiebreaker. We're head-to-head, 2-0.
Different team then, Bub. A lot has happened. A lot has happened with this particular team. Quarterback stuff, building stuff, media stuff, everything stuff has happened. And
are they galvanized now? Were you the galvanizer? Did you bring everything together?
Potentially. Good luck to them. I'm pulling for them. But they just went on a 19-play drive to beat the Patriots and then went for 2 instead of kicking it to win the game outright. And then Anthony Richardson's running people over again. They're hot right now. They got to catch up to the Broncos right now. That is the conversation in that particular graphic. But Bo Nix and Sean Payton, seemingly a perfect match. How do you feel about him? How do you feel about the other rookie quarterbacks? What are your thoughts on this young class?
I think it's a great example, in my personal opinion, of how situations matter for not only rookies, but for everybody in the NFL. You watch, I look at that situation last year. You look at Russell Wilson with Sean Payton. Clearly, that wasn't working out, whether it was between the two of them, whether it was a one-way street, whatever it was. Everybody, you paint Russ out as having such a bad year. When you actually sit down and look at it, not that bad of a year. Goes over to the Steelers now and is playing phenomenal football. Just because it didn't work out in one spot doesn't mean it's not working out in another. Sean Payton clearly had his eyes on a different quarterback. He goes out in the draft and he gets Bo Nix. And Bo starts out maybe a little shaky, but now is playing some really good football. And that's an example of just developing and knowing what you want, giving the guy an opportunity, surrounding him with good pieces, and he's having a chance at success. That's what we talk about in the NFL with all these things. The Bryce Young situation in Carolina. You put him in right away. You want him to be an all-star. You want him to be a Pro Bowler his rookie year. He's not. You bench him. You sit him down. People are asking, is he ever going to play for the Panthers again? Should they trade him? Comes back out. Now he's playing great football. The NFL is all about the right situation. It's about developing players. We continue to forget that you're supposed to develop players. I get it. Everybody wants instant gratification. But we're now seeing it in college. We're having the same issue now in college where we're not developing players. We're not growing players because everybody just wants to go to the portal and find another player to plug and play. You forget that some guys have to grow and develop as a human, as a player, as an athlete. And I fear that we're going to have an issue moving forward where we're just hoping everybody's great to start.
You're saying that about players. I think Aaron was saying it about GMs and coaches. And the big fear is obviously, what if you wait and have the patience and then it never comes? Then you're just... And I think that has scared people to death. I'm not saying that's more likely than not likely, but I'm just saying that is potentially the fear for people. Because especially in the social media world where you hear everything, it's like ownership. If you sit around, like Sheila Ford Ham did with the Detroit Lions.
Right.
With Holmes and Campbell, MCDC and Brad Holmes. When they started out 0-10 the first year, and then the second year they were 1-6. And she actually, I watched the video yesterday that Aaron was talking about. She goes to the practice squad or to the practice facility and does like a press conference and says that she has faith and belief in what they're doing and starts pointing out all the things she likes. And it's like that ended up being the perfect decision.
The best decision ever in franchise history.
Boom. But what happens if MCDC, and I'm not, now that she knew, but if he doesn't work out and Brad Holmes doesn't work out, then it's like you still fired Jim Caldwell for Matt Patricia. Now you got this one you're holding on to for this entire thing, and we end up sucking forever. I'm happy I don't have to make those decisions, but with players, I think there's some things you could see probably that it's like he'll be great whenever he goes forward. Because you think about Josh Allen. There's a guy. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. It just got better and better and better. Is there some traits you'd look for to find out if they're the right person to wait on?
Well, there's also a CYA situation. Everybody's trying to cover your ass. They're all trying to cover their own ass to make sure that they're not the one on the line when something goes wrong. So if you have somebody that you can put the blame on, that's not yourself, that's what a lot of people are looking for. And sadly, that's how it ends up that we're moving on from people, is because somebody with a little bit higher power says, it's not my fault, it's that guy's fault. And then we move on from that guy. I get to keep my job. I feel like that's a bigger issue overall.
Hey, to your point there, and this is completely different than what we're talking about right now, the fact that Ren Baker has come out and said, I'm the one hiring the head coach for the West Virginia football team, as opposed to what some of these schools, I don't know how many, they hire third-party consulting firms to basically do it, because then if the person sucks, it's like, oh, we're never going to use that firm again.
Fools.
We're going to actually use this firm over here. So there's no accountability almost. So Ren Baker, I want to let him know, you coming out and being like, this is my decision. That's your job, I think. But also, I love it, because if it goes great, he should get the flowers. And Sheila Ford Hamp should get the flowers for having the patience. And if it goes to crop, at least we know, and it isn't a big one of these situations, which we need less of those.
Would you take the job?
West Virginia?
Yep.
I'm not the right guy for that job. I know my limitations. I've thought about it, because if I wanted to make a big, strong public push, I could probably, put enough pressure on Ren to have to interview me, and then in the interview process, would I be able to win? I could probably put on a pretty good display in there. Talking is a pretty good thing that I have, football knowledge, an ability to understand the modern world business-wise and branding and marketing, but also what teams win, what teams lose. I have an incredible amount of intelligent football people around me, so if you put me in the room, I'd probably be okay, But with all that being said, that's that day. Do I want to wake up the next day as the head coach of a college football team in 2024?
The goodness.
AJ, would you join his staff?
He'd be forced to.
I think it's yeah. I mean, if I could stay in Ohio and coach, possibly, but I think Rich Rod. How do you not give the job to Rich Rod?
Okay,
Rich Rodriguez is the guy. He has to be.
His name is up there now. Okay, his name is now being a part of the conversation, and I think it has been for the last few years. It's crazy. It is crazy. It is. That would be one of the wildest things in the history of sports, let alone college football. With how it ended.
I don't know. Some crazy things have happened where guys have been hired back to where things have happened.
No, but if he goes and wins a national,
Oh, yeah.
If Rich Rod
wins a national championship, slow down.
Oh, we've seen them. Whoa. We've seen them.
They definitely bring a bunch of juice, a bunch of excitement, man, and a tough team.
Jage, win a Big 12. Okay, is that what you want? Yeah, okay, that's what we want the coach that's going in there to think, yeah, which is not a bad idea, to win the Big 12 if you're in a college football playoff. You get in the dance, anything could happen. Literally, any single college football game, anything could happen. But if you think about, Rich Rod just went down to Jacksonville State. I think he had to overturn his entire roster, and they're in the American Conference Championship this weekend. So it's he's going to win. That is what he's going to win. I think that is just what Rich Rod has done, except for in Michigan, he was even starting to win there. We need to get him the hell out of here. Never going to be a fit up there. Arizona, terrible ending. Jacksonville State, he gets them, Jacksonville State, to win and become must-watch television. And it's but if he was going to go back to West Virginia, there would have to be a lot of conversations by a lot of people. And believe me, it has been an awesome interaction between me and former teammates talking about the entire idea and the thought of it and how much, it'd be all right, we got to go watch. We got to go, if this is happening, we got to go see this entire thing. But then there's so many other West Virginia connected people that want the gig as well. So it's for me, it's been very hard to even, I talked to Ren, and it's the last thing I want to do is put more pressure on Ren, in who I think he should pick. He is the one that is tasked with making this decision. Mm-hmm. He's the one who has done a great job in figuring out who should lead a program and organization. And when I talk to him, I just tell him hey, this person reached out. Hey, this person reached out. Hey, this person reached out. Have you heard from this person? They're reaching out. And then I'm just telling him hey, you're going to do a great job, bub. Whatever you.
Good luck.
This is your.
You're just dumping information on him and then say, here, just take it.
Boom. Yeah, hey, I'm just letting you know what you need. And then also, with this new April 8th ruling that's coming, where it's going to be a revenue share situation. For college, I think D1, I think it's coming April 8th, I believe, is the day the judgment is supposed to come. It'll be a salary cap. This is what everybody's talking about. But I thought the teams are just getting that money. Their revenue is going to have to earn the amount of money to get there. So it's while I'm talking to Ren about why somebody would or wouldn't want a job at a salary cap, and I'm learning more about the entire situation, I'm Ren, there's certainly events that we could put on that up the revenue, right? Like if we just do a show at the Coliseum where the basketball team plays, that's just like we can make that a sports thing, right? Because it's in there. Absolutely, that's how it works. We own the building, so it'd be a part of revenue. So it's like there's actual ways to like assist, a team. And I think I'm kind of learning that through this entire process, which has been the most exciting. And whoever the hell Ren picks, I think will be a good hire. But there's a lot of West Virginia ties that want that job, and a lot of people I'm friends with. So I'm like, I think you'd be great.
You guys have great uniforms. I will give you that. You guys do uniforms well. Great uniforms.